What is a dream? In the history of ideas, dreams are often thought of as premonitions, insights into future events. In his famous work, The Interpretation of Dreams of 1900, Sigmund Freud thought dreams were expressions from the unconscious, giving rise to material that would otherwise have been repressed in some way. Those are at least two of the most common understandings we have of dreams. And in modern psychology, dreams are thought of as ways of processing emotion or anxiety or dealing with the day's residues and events. I don't necessarily disagree with any of those definitions, but for me, I would say a dream is fundamentally a poem. Now, in saying this, I'm not saying anything particularly original from one perspective, because it's been remarked before that dreams and poems work in similar ways. They're compressed, they're full of imagery, they may have multiple meanings and be ambiguous. They may have so many meanings that the interpretation of them can go on and on and on. So dreams and poems share those two things in common. I think there's another couple of reasons why we can define a dream as a kind of poem. And one is that a poem is a creative product, and so is a dream. In the state of dreaming, we are producing and creating in a way we're not normally allowed to do in the course of everyday life, with its more prosaic rules and behaviors that we are more or less compelled to follow. So that's another reason why a dream is like a poem, because it's a creative act that we are producing in the middle of the night. There's another aspect of a dream which I think is worth pointing out, and that is that although it's full of imagery, it's also silent. And the silence, I think, is interesting because I would argue that a poem is essentially an effort to privilege imagery over voice. That although a poem can contain reported speech, although it can be read out loud, that its strongest momentum, its strongest idea is to foreground the image and to make the image stronger than narrative. And that's, in a sense, what you have in a dream too. The image is nearly always stronger than the narrative. So on those three grounds, at least, I think, when we want to answer the question, what is a dream? We can, for shorthand at least, say a dream is a poem.